Netflix's Wednesday, Jenna Ortega herself and director Tim Burton are all being labeled irresponsible and what? Oh, get in here thing. I think we got to raise my favorite finger. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. Look, I got to say right out the gate, I was a big fan of Netflix's Wednesday. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. My kids really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed watching with them. It was kind of like a darker Nancy Drew. And I thought Jenna Ortega was fantastic. And now as it is facing some of Netflix's best ratings, it's like the number 3 most watched show. And it's only been out for a few weeks, right under Stranger Things 4 and the Dahmer show and Squid Game. This is a big deal for the show. So of course, as we all know, the bigger you get, the harder they come at you. And now they're coming at them for the dumbest things, right? There's 2 things I want to talk about here. There's a disrespectful, highly irresponsible behind the scene fact that we need to get through. But before I get to that one, I want to go to the more insanity one. This one came out a couple days ago. Tim Burton himself was labeled a racist for casting the black actors as bullies. If you watch the show, there are 2 actors in it. I don't know why we keep like profiling actors and their skin color, and there are literally channels that complain, well, you had black people in the movie, but they weren't bad guys. They were only the good guys. And then you make a movie where you cast black people. Oh, but they were only the bad guys. You literally can't win either way on the internet. There is always somebody to complain and judge everybody's skin color, count them, figure out what their whole motive was, and then say this wasn't good enough. I'm over it. This is the problem with society right now. Just cast the best actors in the role. Anyway, so now he's being accused of. If you guys have seen the show, there are 2 actors here. Here is Joy Sunday as Bianca in the film, and then there's Iman Marson, who plays he's like someone's son. And to label these characters the bullies, I think does a disservice to the show. They're much more rounded characters than that. One could label Wednesday a bully. There's several people in the show, without getting into spoilers, that one could label bullies in this show. So the fact that they just jump on this is insane. And like the tweets that have already, that have been mentioning this, which they've already all been deleted. Like they got so much flack because it was such a stupid take that, they're not even there. Plus I see other people of color in this crew that weren't the bullies. Like this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is where we're at. And then it's like, as a culture, what is this? Like, why are we fighting each other so much? Oh, well, you can't cast people of color if they're not the good guys. Oh, wait, no, but then you have to cast them as the bad guys. Well, no, you can't cast. Oh my God, just cast people. Just cast people. This attack on Tim Burton is offensive to me. It's offensive to me. Now, Tim Burton has previously sort of been called out, and it's not wrong. He has not cast a lot of different ethnicities in his movies over the years. He does primarily have white casts. And they mentioned in this article, I think it was Samuel Jackson or somebody made a point. I think I'm the first black actor in that movie he made about the peculiar children. Jackson's comments, speculated he was the first black lead of a Burton film. Director responded, said nowadays people are already talking about it more, but things either call for things or they don't. And then he talks about how the Brady Bunch wasn't I don't love these quotes, wasn't politically correct, how they had to have an Asian child and then a black child. I used to get more offended by that. I grew up watching blaxploitation movies, and that's great. I don't go like, oh, there should be white people in these movies. He's like, look, I don't believe for a second he's doing it out of to be racist, which is what people are calling him. And yeah, there are certain movies that want to cast certain people, and there's other movies that want to cast certain people, and just most movies just cast people is where I feel like we should go. So this idea that Tim Burton's Wednesday is racist is insane to me. And now on top of it, let's add another level of insanity. Filming of Wednesday has been branded highly irresponsible and disrespectful. They're going after Jenna, Tim Burton, the show itself, because Jenna opened up about a scene she did. Now, this was one of my favorite scenes in the show. I'm not going to get spoilers, but there's the dance sequence. It's gone viral all over TikTok, etc. It's a really great sequence that apparently she herself choreographed, and she's not really a dancer, but she performs to Goo Goo Muck by the Cramps, and it's all deadpan, and it's a pretty funny, cool scene because you get to see sort of Wednesday dancing, and people loved it. So while she was talking about that scene, she said she felt very insecure. Here's the quote. I'm going to pull the quote here. Felt really insecure about this. She said in a behind the scenes video, I choreographed that myself, and I think it's very obvious that I'm not a dancer or a choreographer. She then revealed that she had the Rona during filming. Uh-oh. People have now been left horrified that Jenna confessed that she was allowed to film while waiting for her test results after she woke up with symptoms of the virus. So now, guys, if we have a symptom, we must immediately call out of work. We must now stop everything we're doing. We must be put in a vacuum-sealed container to avoid anybody getting the flu. Any sort of flu that we may have. Everybody, are we ready? Get those sealed suits, the ones from Outbreak, and put it on. As soon as I hear a sneeze, you better put that suit on, or else you're being irresponsible. You're going to put everybody at risk in flu season. My God. I walked by 100 people at the Walmart the other day, all sniffling, coughing. What on earth are we supposed to do? We can't just shut down lives or sets because you have symptoms of a flu. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to get into a whole Rona debate here on the channel because we've talked about it plenty, but I'm going to say I feel like we're moving on as a culture. You know, things are being treated differently now. It's not as serious as it once was. We're trying to get back to normal. And I believe a lot of people wanted us shut down even longer. They did. So this is a complicated debate. I know some people are still, and you have every right to wear a mask or do what you want, get your boosters. That's the beauty of this country that we're in. You do you. She had some symptoms, and COVID regulations require that you have to get tested. She says here, she explains a little further. It was my first day with the Rona, so it was awful to film her first day. So first day of symptoms, she had some flu-like symptoms. She says she never gets sick, but I woke up and it's weird. I felt I don't, when I do, it's bad. I had body aches. I felt like I got hit by a car, and then I had this little goblin that had been left in my throat and it was scratching the walls of my esophagus. So she had a sore throat and she was achy. I've had that multiple times in the past couple of years, and I got tested and it wasn't the Rona. So that doesn't mean you have it. So they assumed she didn't have it. They were hoping she didn't have it because they have a very expensive production where she's the lead. She's very quoted. And so she said they were giving her medicine between takes, clearly hoping it was just something else that would pass, and to waiting for this result to see, does she have it? Most often than not, you don't have it. That's the reality, right? So they're going until it's confirmed. And usually on these sets, they're all supposed to wear other things, et cetera. Who knows? I asked to redo it, but we didn't have time. I think probably could have done it a bit better. Netflix confirmed and said, yes, strict protocols were followed. And once the positive test was confirmed, production removed Jenna from the set. So there you go. Okay, so she hoped it wasn't it. They all hoped it wasn't it. Who knows if the crew knew, like, hey, FYI, she's feeling, I'm sure it was obvious if she was sick, right? If she was like achy and a sore throat, she was probably telling people, or she probably wasn't as energetic. And so people had that right. And if someone's really susceptible to it and you see that, usually, you stay away. You might be like, guys, I got to get out of here. I got a condition. I can't be around this. But I'm telling you, if you're in a production like this, you're probably not putting yourself at risk of being in Hollywood productions. The stress levels, the energy levels that are required to be on these shows. It's a lot, guys. You're working like 20-hour days. If you are so worried about getting sick, you don't go work on a Hollywood production. I'm sorry, you don't. That's crazy to me. You're going to get the flu. You might get stuff. It's just going to happen. That's the world we live in. And if you're someone who can't get exposed to it, well, then, yeah, you got to really button up and do what you got to do, right? Or wear a mask and ensure that you're wearing the mask and not be an extra, et cetera. We all got choices to do. And I just think this is absurd that they're coming after and they're attacking Jenna, Tim Burton, the show. How dare she? You could have given everybody on that, how contagious you were. You put everyone at risk. I don't know, man. This is just we've gotten so damn sensitive. So damn sensitive. Hollywood has some of the strictest protocols. And now they're a few people on Twitter are saying, even that's not enough. Even that's not enough. How dare you? How dare you? It's a whole nightclub. The failure of those in charge. They're all like, it's not Jenna's fault. I don't blame Jenna because she informed them. But what do you mean you don't blame Jenna? If you're gonna disagree with me and you're gonna blame them, you got to at least blame everybody. You got to then say, well, Jenna, you were sick. You should have stayed home. You should have just called in and said, I can't come in. I don't want to get anybody sick. I'm worried it's this. You have every right. They're not going to fire you because of that. She could have done that. And it's still like, I don't blame Jenna. Jenna's the employee. She's not responsible. So what is this? Yeah, you don't have, work still makes you go in, guys, when you're sick. They sometimes demand it. That's how work goes. You can't always just be like, sorry, I'm not feeling good today. I'm going to stay home. Not everyone has the luxury of having that kind of job. So this is just like, again, what world are we in? And then they're like, well, this is a symptom of grind culture. And now that's a take I would humor. I'm curious what you guys think of this. Basically like saying, yeah, why is she, kind of raise an eyebrow that she's telling the story like it's a good anecdote of how tough and dedicated she is and not framing as how effed up the situation was. Honestly, that's the better take. Like, because exactly, if you're going to blame anybody, fine, blame Jenna. Because I don't have a problem with this myself. But if you're going to blame somebody, it's like, Jenna, you went in with symptoms and now you're like flexing it. Like, it is weird. I will acknowledge that. But I don't know, irresponsible, all this stuff they're throwing at this show. I think it's a little excessive, but I'm curious what you guys think. Hey, do you disagree with me? Do you think I'm wrong on this one? I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Before you comment though, can you do us a solid? Make sure you hit that button. I don't know why it's not showing it. There it is. Hit the bell, smash the like button, and then yes, go down, hit the comments and leave it what you think. Appreciate you guys. It's a slow news week. Please, in the comments down below, also let us know what you want to talk about. Lots more will be happening on the live. We'll be hanging out. So I hope you join us. We're here live every weekday here on Popcorn Planet.